guys, and welcome back to Bryony's Mini Kitchen. Today we are going to be making teriyaki salmon with Asian inspired noodles. We are going to be making our own teriyaki sauce from scratch because it's actually so easy. Just need a few basic ingredients, just mix them all together. Really quick, really delicious, few different veg. Today I've got tender stem broccoli and oyster mushrooms, and I might add a little bit of ginger in as well, a little bit of lime, but you can add anything you want, or if you don't fancy adding more veg to the dish, you can just have plain noodles. Soy sauce, 60 milliliters of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. You can find all of these, normally there's maybe a specialty aisle in your supermarket, but they will have everything and more. Or if you want to skip this step and just buy teriyaki sauce, you can find it in a bottle literally sat next to your soy sauce. But I find it nicer just to have all the base ingredients and make it yourself. It's so easy. Next thing, pure sesame oil, 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to be doing about 2 cloves of garlic. I've actually got some homegrown garlic here that a friend had from her allotment, and they're like little mini cloves. So we'll put maybe like 2 or 3 of these guys in. And I love garlic. I think you can never have too much garlic. Ginger is so delicious, especially when it's nice fresh ginger. And then just put our sugar in, which is also just 2 tablespoons. That's going to help the sauce to caramelize. And that's our sauce. So easy. Just get a little spoon, mix it all up. Oh, and it smells so good. I wish you could smell this. Try and smell it, just imagine. Yummy. First thing, we're going to be toasting our sesame seeds. This is just an added extra that you can do for decoration. It's just really delicious to toast them. You get a little bit more flavor, a little bit of like a roast out of your little sesame seeds. But you can completely skip it if you don't have it or if you don't like sesame seeds. There's no issue. So we're just going to put this up to about medium temperature and chuck in maybe a couple teaspoons of sesame seeds. So you just want to gently roast and toast our sesame seeds until they get a little bit of a brown, and then we're just going to put them aside, and they are for decoration. While we do this, actually, I'm also going to put on, we've got a pot of water here, boil that bad boy up, and that is just to cook our noodles before they go in with everything else, so they're nice and soft and ready. So this is the sort of toasting we're looking for, just a few light browns, and it just brings out a little bit more of like that nutty seed flavour. It's just for decoration. Don't worry too much about it. They just look pretty and taste good. There we go, they're done. So just gonna turn the heat down a little bit, put these little guys aside. Now we're gonna do our salmon. We're gonna fry our salmon. Very excited for salmon. Okay, so we need sesame oil, which we had before from our sauce. I'm just gonna put a little drizzle in this. And we are simply gonna put our sustainable salmon. Make sure it's a good quality salmon. Wanna be keeping those fish around. Straight in the pan. Now we're just gonna add our homemade teriyaki sauce or store-bought. Around, drizzle it all around. And this is going to really help, because we're frying it, to create a nice crust. But with that sugar and all the molasses and delicious saltiness from our sauce, it's going to caramelize across the bottom of the salmon, create a really delicious crust, help it to cook through, and also just keep that flavour all throughout our salmon. The smell is so great as well. So as you can see, got a little bit of colour from the bottom rising up, so it's kind of half cooked through. Now we're going to flip it onto the side and then onto the top, just to get a little bit of that caramelization onto the top of the salmon. Also, as you can see, our pot of water is boiling, ready at the back. And I've just got some egg noodles here. They come in little nests, which are individually portioned. Perfect, perfect. I'm just going to pop them in the boiling water for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now we've had our salmon on both the bottom and on the top side, we are now going to pop them into just an oven-proof dish and pop them in the oven for about 10 minutes, if that, just to make sure they all cook through, and it also keeps them warm while we're making our noodles. So I've just cleaned our pan, and it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, and our noodles are nice and ready for our pan now. So just going to turn them off and drain those. So today I've got tender stem broccoli and oyster mushrooms. We're not going to massively slice these up because I want quite big, chunky, nice bits into our noodles. Just like before, we're going to add a little bit of sesame oil into our pan. This is obviously a little bit hot already. And then just chucking our broccoli straight in. We're going to just heat this up before we chuck in all our noodles. I want a little bit of a crunch still because I do really love broccoli when it's still not fully cooked through. And also this will help to cook it just enough so it's tender but still a little bit crispy. Ready? And then these are our oyster mushrooms. I'm just going to slice them so they're a little bit smaller so we don't have massive chunks. Chop these bad boys up, get them also in the pan so they can fry up just a little bit. For our toppings, for our finished meal, I'm going to add spring onions, a little bit of coriander, have a bit of lime on top, and then obviously we've got our sesame seeds from before. I love spring onions so much. They are one of my favourite little mini veggie onions. Out of all the onions, they're my favourite onion. The main thing with Japanese food is that you'll find a lot of veggies and a lot of big, chunky, delicious veggies. So mushrooms, broccoli, we'll find like lots of peppers, things like that. And also, it's not really that bad of a meal for you. Soy sauce is a little bit salty, but it's all quite natural, delicious salt. And also, it's so much easier than people think. All of the things you would ever need are in your local supermarket. You don't need to hunt for anything. And it's really easy just to create something simple and authentically Japanese tasting. So now we've got little crispy bits on our mushrooms and our broccoli. We are ready to add our noodles. This is really easy. We always got our pre-drained noodles. You can also get those straight to wok noodles. They're also really good, really quick. Chuck them in. So now we've added our noodles. We're just going to add the rest of our teriyaki sauce that we made. Don't need a hell of a lot because most of our flavour is going to be in our salmon. Get that all cooked through, everything's covered. We are now ready to combine everything together. I'm very excited, very hungry. It's lunchtime. Will, are you hungry? He's never really been a fan of salmon, so I'm gonna force feed this to him. So we're just gonna take this salmon out. It's been in there for about 10 minutes just while we've been making the noodles. Just make sure that everything's cooked through because we've got a nice crispy outside, but you do wanna make sure it's cooked. And sometimes I feel like pan cooking food, you can either overdo the outside and not fully get the inside, so I always do like to do maybe a combination. I do love an oven. Love an oven. Traditionally, ovens are not used in Japanese cooking, so don't tell any Japanese people about my habits, but it'll be delicious. Right, so we've got our salmon bubbling away, we've got our noodles ready, we've got our bowl. Get them on. Stunning. Last thing. A lime. I'm gonna put a bit of fresh lime juice in. Roll that baby, get all the juices out. Chop him in half. And then of course our spring onions that we sliced up. Just a few of these little guys. And we're done. This actually looks so good. I'm gonna go crispy end salmon. It's got all caramelized from that sugar in the soy. Mixture, our little teriyaki. So good. I'm going to convince you that you're going to eat salmon well. You will eat it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please head over to my channel and please subscribe. Also, comment underneath if you want to see me make anything in particular and like the video. Please tell your friends. Also, if you want to see my normal day-to-day life, what I get up to, what other foods I'm cooking, follow me on Instagram, which is Bryony Morganna, and I'll see you guys again next time.